interesting to say the least. Anne-Marie, Brian, Ole described the defending for United, the 2 goals they conceded, as bad. Is that the understatement of the century?
Yeah, I think they were dreadful goals, but the performance was poor as well, Tommy, overall. The selection he went with didn't work out very well. Juan Mata had a poor game, but a lot of players seem to be suddenly off form. Bruno Fernandes, who was the saviour last season when he came in and was such a catalyst for the performances in the last 14 games when they were unbeaten and they got up to 3rd place in the league and qualified for the Champions League. He just seems to have gone off now. He was very ordinary against Arsenal, I felt, at the weekend. He had a poor game again tonight. Matic, I said it before, for me, doesn't get around quick enough anymore. But there were 2 dreadful goals. I mean, when we look at them and analyse them, the first one is particularly extraordinary situation. They were after having the corner, centre backs were up in the box, and this is actually the build up to the corner. And it's after the corner is half cleared, they recycle the ball, Manchester United hold on to it. But the players who were in advanced positions, you see Wan-Bissaka, he must have been told to stay back, and Matic was supposed to stay back. But you see, when they lose it here in the corner, neither of them are back, and one ball out of the defence. Like, Wan-Bissaka in the corner, or Matic in the corner of the pitch there, is the furthest Manchester United player back on the pitch. Look, 20 yards the wrong side of Demba Ba. He's just inside the halfway line, takes it brilliantly. But look how much space he has, and where are the centre-backs? Tuanzebe trying to get back.
Damien, there will be managers of boys and girls under 9 teams all around the country who would be going mad with that, wouldn't there be?
Surreal would be it, and there'd be even more with this. I mean, we spoke about this at half-time. Danny van de Beek plays a ball into Fernandes. Fernandes is a great ball to Mata. Mata gets pushed off it too easy, but here Tuanzebe just commits and leaves that pass. He just needs to hold a second longer than what he does. You can see it from this picture here. If he holds, he cuts off the pass to Demba Ba, and an extra second would allow Maguire to get back in. But he releases too early, invites the pass inside, and it was just a poor decision. Obviously, Juan Mata is flimsy as you're going to get on the ball, but they just need to be a bit more better decision making. But he's a young boy, Tuanzebe. That's an inexperienced decision that, you know, if he holds the middle of the pitch, the only option is the winger to keep going down the line, and you suffer the shot on an angle, you swallow that, or you know, you keep him wide and then you go out. But Harry Maguire gets back in, you hold that up there because the cavalry will be getting back, but he just releases, and then it makes the pass too obvious inside to Demba Ba, and Demba Ba just lets it go, and Luke Shaw's playing left corner forward.
And the 2 goals conceded, bad as they were, symptomatic of a performance that was poor in lots of other areas, as we'll see now.
Disjointed, lack cohesion, pretty much the opposite to what we saw in Chelsea today. A lot of it seemed to be off the cuff. Watch all the players here, the Man United players turn around to Harry Maguire, look, with all their hands out. Like, what are you doing? Harry Maguire played a ball, there's no real plan. It's just almost like you ask 11 players to go on the pitch and please play well or please try and win the game. The players don't seem to have any game plan. You never see any patterns with Man United in anything that they do. It's all off the cuff. The player on the ball just gets it, and then he makes up his mind what's going to happen. So basically, when the player's on the ball, everybody should know where everybody is, where the ball's going to go, what the manager's asked for, but it just seems to be very off the cuff.
So how come we were sitting here a week ago revelling and congratulating them on their performance in a 5-0 win over Leipzig? How can they go from that in the space of a week?
It is hard to explain that, but they played poorly at the weekend. There's a change of personnel as well. Fred was the holding player against RB Leipzig. They played in the diamond. He was the one deepest, and RB Leipzig came onto them. And then when we talked about it earlier, that Manchester United are better when somebody comes onto them and attacks them. If you think of all the goals,
and Istanbul were never going to do that, were they?
No, you think about all the goals that they got against Leipzig. They were nearly all counter-attacking goals when Leipzig were caught with their centre-backs, only 2 of them back out of the 3, and United exposed them down the sides and with pace. Tonight, they didn't get those opportunities.
Now, bearing in mind that, as I said, you know, win 5-0 last week and beat PSG the week before, yet there seems to be serious questions over the manager still because of the poverty of the other performances in the league and now tonight. Are they justified questions?
Absolutely. I think that it's only a matter of time now. I think that Manchester United are in danger of slipping into kind of a wilderness, really, of mediocrity, kind of very similar to what Liverpool were in the 90s. They need somebody with charisma. They need somebody with personality. They need somebody with a real Jurgen Klopp-type character about him to grab Manchester United, take control of not just the team, but the whole football club. Tell them, like, no matter who's getting that job is going to go in there and say, I need a director of football and I need players. There needs to be a long-term plan for Manchester United to get them back to where they need to be, like Jurgen Klopp did at Liverpool. But at the minute, I don't think this manager has the charisma. When you look at him, does he have the drive to really look at Manchester United and say, is this guy really going to drag this team? Because it's one thing saying that he hasn't had the signings that he asked for, but is he getting the most out of what he has? That's the only question to ask Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Jose Mourinho won a UEFA Cup and a League Cup and finished second in the league, and he said it was one of his greatest achievements, finishing second. That is a manager that got a squad to overachieve. Then he went back to the board and he said, hey, I did my bit. I got everything I could out of the squad. You got to help me. They didn't help him, and Jose unravelled in the only way that Jose can, to be honest with you.
But hold on. Jose was probably the most unpopular manager Manchester United ever had. But the style of football, the club, the supporters didn't like it.
What about Damien's point that the problems are bigger than just the man? Like,
I think that. I mean, if you go through the managers since Alex Ferguson, they had David Moyes, who Alex Ferguson would have promoted the idea. They weren't happy, didn't go well for him. Then they moved on to Louis van Gaal, one of the very one of the established managers who was very successful at big clubs. Didn't go well with him, didn't like him either, didn't like the football he played. Now they moved on to Mourinho, one of the great achievers, and they weren't happy with him, and he wasn't happy with them. I thought he was a stranger at the time. Now they got Mourinho. So who they get, if they decide to change, they've got to be very, very careful. And I think just because Pochettino was around and say, oh, well, Pochettino did his interview the other night, on Monday night, on the football show, I don't think that's the way they should be approaching it at all. I'm not sure that Pochettino is the one that's going to change and fix the problems that they have at the moment.
Man United spent £1 billion. £1 billion since Alex Ferguson left. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer himself spent 250 million, and that's enough to warrant beating Besiktas or Basaksehir and being higher than they are in the league. Pochettino, is he the answer? Does he want that job? If Pochettino takes that job, right, he wants to play Pochettino football. You saw him speak the other night about Marcelo Bielsa, the high intensity. Every year we played against Tottenham in the Premier League.
He was only saying that, Damien, because the Bielsa thing is all the go at the moment.
Yeah, okay, but
and then they were found out the other night.
Okay, but Pochettino
Leicester. We're saying we'd have to throw out half the squad then, is that?
Pochettino wants to play a certain way, and you need to be a certain type of player to play for him. Go through the Man United team. Could Anthony Martial play for Pochettino? Don't think so. Pogba? Not sure. Shaw? No. Matic? No. Mata? No. Harry Maguire? No. So he's only taking that job if he says, you need to move these 6 on and get me these 6 in, please. Man United have bigger problems than what they have on the pitch. They don't have a director of football. Ed Woodward seems to be calling the shots. The owners are in Florida, earning their dividends. They're not too pushed as long as the dividends keep coming in. So they need a director of football. They need a long-term plan, and they need to get somebody to say, there's a plan in place here. You need to help me execute this plan.
Apart from that, everything is A-OK. Desperate situation for United when you listen to the way you've put it there, chaps. Defeat, but they are, of course, they've 6 points from their first 2 games, so very much competitive in the group in the Champions League anyway, going forward. Right.